After tragedy, so many of us ask, what do I say to my child? How do I show up for others? And how can I process this myself? Today, we're turning to an expert voice for comfort and clarity. Welcome to the AI Empowered Mom podcast. AI Empowered Mom is on a mission to reduce the mental load of parenthood. I'm Sarah, the founder of AI Empowered Mom and host of the AI Empowered Mom podcast. And today we're setting AI aside to focus on supporting children, families, and others in difficult moments. I'm joined by Dr. Kirti Saxena, Chief of Psychiatry at Texas Children's Hospital and Professor of Psychiatry at Baylor College of Medicine. In addition to her clinical and leadership responsibilities, Dr. Saxena has recently been featured on Fox 26 Houston and Fox 7 Austin, among other outlets, about helping parents talk to their children regarding the recent tragedy in the Hill Country. Dr. Saxena, we're so thankful to you for being here and taking time to share with our community. I wonder if we could start by having you share just a little bit about what your role looks like at Texas Children's and how you support families during difficult times.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me. I have a clinical role at Texas Children's as well. I run a clinic for children and adolescents with severe mood disorders, depression, pediatric bipolar disorder, early onset psychosis.
Well, thank you so much. You're more than qualified to be here with us, and we so appreciate you taking this time. When a community tragedy occurs, what are some ways that parents can support their children? I know that's a question on so many moms and caregivers' minds today.
Yes, Sarah, this is an unspeakable tragedy, and at this time, parents can be the voice of reassurance. When speaking to your child, it's important for a parent to remember to be calm. And you need to know that your children will model your own behavior, your parents' behavior. So when a parent will speak calmly, the child will feel comforted, they'll feel secure, they'll feel reassured. Remind the child that they are safe and you are available to answer any questions. Now, coming to asking questions. Think about the developmental age of your child. So if you have a preschooler or a younger child, you want to protect and shield them from adult conversations and from news and media coverage and social media because they're too young and they do not understand. Your elementary school children, your middle school, and your high school children first understand what they know and where they're getting their information from so that you are able to guide them in the right direction. What I mean by that is there could be a lot of misinformation and you want your child to have the accurate information. So it can be as simple as let's sit down and let's watch the news together. And then ask me any questions that you have on your mind. Some children will say, I don't have any questions or I don't want to talk about it, and that's totally fine. At all times, it's important for parents to know and recognize changes in their children's behaviors. Now, it can be a child who's becoming more clingy or afraid to separate from the parent or becoming more tearful or annoyed. You can see changes in eating habits or sleeping patterns or activities that the child would like to engage in. Look out for these changes in behaviors. Sometimes children will say, can I come and sleep in your room or can I spend more time with you? And that's totally fine, during a time like this. The other thing that's important for parents to know is try as much as possible to get your child back onto a routine and structure. So for example, sleeping at the time you're usually used to sleeping, waking up at the time you're used to, eating meals at the time that you're used to. Many times we feel at a time like this, how can we go back to doing things that we were usually doing? How can we just resume daily activities? But remember that this is a healthy way of coping. And when these behaviors and these moods and sleeping patterns, they are not resolved over weeks or months, then that's when it's time to really start thinking about talking to a mental health, therapist or a psychiatrist.
Well, thank you for that helpful guidance. And my ears perked up when you mentioned about how children will mirror the emotions of their parents. So what are some ways that parents can take care of themselves, take care of their own mental health during times like these?
Important for parents to know that in order to take care of others, we need to take care of ourselves. And when we recognize that we are feeling extremely anxious, extremely overwhelmed, which is going to happen. It's going to happen to most of us, to all of us. And we feel that this is really hard for us to manage by ourselves, then definitely seek help from a mental health professional. And Before that, you have a community, belong to a community, reach out to each other for support, for comfort, for guidance. Listen to each other, support each other in the way that you can. But remember to take care of yourself. Now, as I said, like when you are asking your child to be on a structured routine, do that for yourself as well. Exercise, daily walking, calling your friend. Let's talk for some time. Let's go for a walk together, whatever it is that's going to be helpful to you.
What's such a good reminder, and I'm taking it to heart. I don't think I mentioned when we were chatting before, but I grew up in Houston and now I live in Austin. So Texas Children's is such a pillar of the community for parents in Houston, especially, and now here in Austin. Can you share some of the resources for those in Texas or beyond that Texas Children's offers to help parents and families process trauma, community trauma, or grief?
I'll start with Texas Children's. At Texas Children's, we have the trauma, stress, and resilience program. We have therapists available online and in person, and this is for Houston, this is for Austin, and of course, virtual appointments can be across the state. We also have child psychiatrists available. What I wanted to also mention, Sarah, is during a time like this, there may be some children and adolescents who are already on psychiatric medications or are seeing a psychiatrist. This might be a good time to have a meeting with the psychiatrist to see if any changes in medications are warranted. It may not be the case, but a consultation is definitely warranted. Also, as if the mood and the behaviors, they do not change over time, then definitely have a consultation with the psychiatrist to see if medications are warranted. This is for Texas Children's. And then we definitely know of many resources that are available in the community, and we can share those resources with you, Sarah, so that you can send it out to your community of mothers.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'll be happy to share resources that moms and caregivers can look to for more support. And Dr. Saxena, in closing, one thing that spoke to me when I saw you speaking on the Fox News was talking about listening, the importance of listening in these times. And I wonder, you mentioned before that some kids might not be ready to talk, but how can moms keep those lines of communications open with their children so that when their kids are ready, they are able to be there to listen without putting pressure on the children?
So one thing you can do is start engaging the children in activities. It's okay if you don't want to talk, but I'm going out to run an errand. Would you like to join me? I'm going to the grocery store, I'm cooking dinner. Just give me a hand here. It's important to observe, be observant, be vigilant, and let them talk about whatever they want to talk about, whatever's on their mind. You don't have to push the question, but keep them in front of you and make sure that they always know where you are. That's important. And so I think that opens the lines of communication as well, the verbal as well as the nonverbal. You see me, I see you, I'm here, I'm available. You don't want to talk about it, that's fine. Let's do something else. And then whenever they're ready, they'll be ready. Another point that, Sarah, I do want to mention is how can we help each others? Simple things like offering to bring a dinner for a neighbor or a family member, or helping them with grocery shopping or running errands. It's really important to support and help in the way that feels helpful.
Those simple things, just taking something off people's plate and connecting. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You spoke right to my heart talking about being present, and I'm going to work on that with my own daughter. If today's episode resonated with those of you out there listening, we invite you to check out the resources offered by Texas Children's Hospital and others in your local community. If you have suggestions on other ways to heal and support community, please share. You can find me on Instagram, at TikTok, at AI Empowered Mom, or email me directly at contact@AIEmpoweredMom.com. And thank you again one more time to Dr. Saxena and to Texas Children's Hospital for being here and sharing these important words and helping the community heal. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you, Sarah.